in my
What
house.
up, virtual people? Welcome to the 111th episode of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2023. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, the third leg of our VCR tripod himself. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
What's up, everyone?
Mick is back.
And rounding out this righteous crew, known around the New Jersey music scene for his work in Honey Red and Crash Romeo, the latter of which his newest music video is available on YouTube now. Steven Anderson's back on the show.
Hi, thank you for having me back.
Thank you so much for
There's a
coming
part
back.
of me that just wanted to be like known around New Jersey and just like it's just, who are you? I'm known around New Jersey.
No, New Jersey.
I'm known in all 5 boroughs. Anyway, we are here today to clean our guns, get our peepees caught in our zippers, and to make Stallone the 5th Golden Girl. That's right, folks. This world needs nothing more than it needs Stop or My Mom Will Shoot 2 Resurrection, and we're here to give it to you. But before we can get you a grip on a sequel,
we're running out of movies here on VCR.
No, sir. I told you not to underestimate the powers of the Golden Girls. You've been warned. Consider yourself on warning.
Oh my god!
But before we can get you a grip on a sequel, we got a dish on how Stop or My Mom Will Shoot came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes for everyone watching the live chat as well. Was it love at first Laserdisc, Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how Stop or My Mom Will Shoot came into your lives. So, Steve, do you remember the first time you saw the cinematic masterpiece that is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
No, I don't. I know it had to have been around whenever it came out, I'm sure, because it was a Stallone movie. I would have not seen it.
Nobody remembers.
No, I don't think any of us are going to remember. Chris, you'll remember because you're a lunatic, but that's the only one.
I am a fucking crazy person, and I do.
But
remember.
I will say this:
upon
rewatch, right? I kind of remember this movie as being like a decent enough movie that was bogged down by performances by Stallone and Estelle Getty trying to play comedic roles that they weren't really tailor written for. And that's kind of, upon rewatching it, it's kind of the opposite. The two of them, I thought, actually did a better than subpar job. You know, like they were both pretty decent in it. And I don't think it's their fault at all that this movie got the bad rap that it did. That's all I'll say about that for now.
I would say, I'll double down on that. I would say, considering how
Forrest Gumped us. That's all
I'll say about that.
That's all I'll say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
I did.
Jenny said, "Stop or My Mom Will Shoot" is the best movie ever.
Mama said
this movie take me anywhere.
She was right. She was right.
That was Stallone's agent in the early 90s. Convincing him. I'll double down on that though, and I'll say that considering the quality level of the source material, that being the script, of course, they did an A+ job. You have these A-listers slumming it on this kind of a script, and like considering all that, like their performances are as good as you could ever hope for them to be.
I think if Stallone was watching, he'd be like, "Oh, I like that kid."
There's a saying in audio engineering that's you can't shine shit, it only smears, and this is a great example of that. And they give their best in what is a script that just will never hold up. It's paper thin. It's like in My Cousin Vinny, when he's laying out the cards, he's like, they're going to show you the movie in a very specific way. They're going to show you it's in the shape of a brick, but they're not going to show you it from the sides, because you'll see that this whole movie is paper thin and it'll cave right in. But at any rate, Mickey, was this a McDate for you back in the day?
No, I think I think I rented this one. I've only seen it, like, I mean, to be honest, like with the rewatch today, twice in my life.
Holy shit! Wow. So clearly, he's just a huge fan. The good ones are like a bottle of wine, like a bottle of champagne. You save it for a special occasion, like VCR Wednesday.
I mean, like, look, I'm a huge Stallone fan. I mean, Stallone really can't do wrong with me.
No,
but you know, like, I mean, like even like the worst Stallone movie is still like a decent movie for me.
You a big Oscar fan?
I mean, like, I'll watch it. I mean, like, it's not.
We gotta talk about this.
It's not like it's.
You can't talk about one without the other.
Like
hey,
to me, like
no fist.
Like to me, I don't think like Stallone's really. I mean, like, yeah, this is not one of my favorite Stallone movies, but it's the same token. I was like, you know what, Stallone trying something different. It's like he didn't hit a home run. He didn't hit a home run like Kindergarten Cop, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like.
He was the Michael Jordan of baseball.
Yeah.
But
like,
wow, that is quite the analogy. I gotta say, as a former Chicagoan and a lifelong Bulls and Michael Jordan fan, Stallone doing comedy and Jordan doing baseball.
It's not bad.
That's a perfect analogy.
I mean, on this movie,
have good scores.
on this movie. I'm not saying
here's the thing. If Michael Jordan had stayed in baseball, eventually he would have gotten his hitting up and gotten into the major leagues. He's a determined, competitive guy.
He was good. He was
actually pretty good for someone.
He was not bad. Everything. He was not bad, but he wasn't Bo Jackson.
He just he was Serrano. He couldn't hit a curveball. That's what it was. Once they figured that out, his batting averages started going down. But then he started hitting the curve.
Mm-hmm.
So if Stallone
Michael
had
Jordan
made about another 5 to 10 comedies
and a bomb and gave booze to Joe Boo, he would have been all right.
If Stallone had done about 5 to 10 more comedies, eventually he would have found a Kindergarten Cop in there, something that would have connected and been a big success. But
maybe
by that point,
but like Stallone just didn't want to take a failure. Like that was his big thing. I mean,
the early 90s must have been really tough for him because like him and Arnold had this competitive thing, and as soon as like Arnold's doing like Total Recall and T2, Stallone's doing like Oscar and Rocky 5 and Stop My Mom Will Shoot, and they're all underperforming. Yeah. And Arnold did Kindergarten Cop as well.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop.
The early 90s were just like, Arnold's like, this is so me now.
Like Arnold actually did find success in comedies. I mean, you have like Jingle All the Way. You have,
Do you count
Arnold
Twins?
I feel like
Twins, which I'm not a big Twins fan, but that still did really well.
Like Arnold and Sly both saw Animal House, and Arnold was like, or like those movies like Stripes. Arnold's like, I'll take Ivan Reitman. He's like, I'll take John Landis. Like really? This guy just killed like 3 human beings on his last. That's all right. Like we got this.
We were looking at something today. What did Stallone give up in the early 90s too? He passed on Romancing the Stone?
Oh, that was in the mid 80s. He passed
mid 80s. Okay.
He passed on Romancing the Stone, and they implied that he passed on Beverly Hills Cop. He did not pass on Beverly Hills Cop. They developed it for like 6 months with him or something. He wrote a treatment of it, and then they were like, this isn't really we wanted it to be funnier, but why don't you take this and we'll make another movie and call it Cobra.
And that's how you got Cobra, and that's a great fucking movie.
Cobra's one of the Stallone classics.
One of the Stallone classics, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so how did young Iowa Ian come across Stop My Mom Will Shoot? We talking Laserdisc, cable theaters, Betamax?
We're talking basic
gas
cable.
station.
We're talking
basic cable.
ABC. 9 o'clock movie one night. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That's what I remember. I remember it being on ABC. And here's the thing. I will say this. Like, not that the movie gives me any nostalgia. Whatever. Dumb movie. But I do miss those days when a movie premiering on like ABC was a big thing. Like, you talked about it on the elementary school when Jurassic Park was going to premiere on ABC.
Really?
Maybe.
It would have to be not that Jurassic Park wasn't a huge movie, but like that was one of those movies that was like the ET tape of the 90s, just the tape that like fucking everyone had. Like if you had 2 tapes in your house, it was Jurassic Park and Jerry Maguire.
I remember when Batman
definitely Jurassic Park. Ghostbusters too.
Yeah. So you missed all. So you saw this movie without all the titillating Stallone ass shots throughout it, right?
Yep. I saw it pure ABC, like.
Yeah, so you missed all the good parts.
Yeah, that's gonna be a zoomed in, so the ass is out of frame.
But I mean, I remember it. I didn't get it then, but it was a good action movie. I mean, like it's a good action movie. Anything like I agree
if you're younger,
with Stallone.
Yeah,
it's how do I say this? Because
He's
I
entertaining.
want to say, look, I want to say it this way, but he's better than this. So let me just preface it that way. Stallone is like pizza. Have you ever had bad pizza?
No. I mean,
Yeah,
yes, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
even when it's bad, it's still
But
pretty
you're
good.
still
I get
like,
it.
well, it's
Yeah.
still good pizza. Like Stallone, I will watch Stallone, and it's still good pizza. I mean, like ICU,
Okay.
terrible,
Right.
still a good Stallone action movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know?
he's good in it. He's he has decent comedic timing and he pulls it off, like better than I remember him being. But it's
He's a
funny.
really. Oh,
No,
sorry.
sorry,
What
go.
were you gonna
No,
say,
no, you go
Steve?
ahead. I was
Well, I
gonna
was
say
gonna
this.
say it. Oh yeah, no, you go. You go.
You go. You go.
Well,
All
forget
right,
you guys. I'm
Jesus.
going to say, to me, it's interesting. Like in the 90s, there was this weird thing where everybody tried to be different than what they were. Like
Mhm.
that's what I think about in the 90s sometimes with these movies. It's like Stallone tried to do Oscar, which Oscar actually is kind of a good movie. I actually like Oscar. But like Stallone tried to do comedy. Arnold tried to switch over to comedy. Eddie Murphy switched over to be an action star. Jim Carrey went over to be dramatic. It's like everybody decided to just, well, you're not going to pigeonhole me. I'm going to do this.
Right.
But they did it
Well,
at like
it became that
$1
that time
million.
period of like movie stars where they got to be to like such an upper echelon of in their craft that they could choose whatever projects they wanted to do. They weren't cast for things. They were like attached to they would pick a project, they'd attach themselves to it and chop that out. Right. Yeah.
Like
So,
I like Metro Hills Cop 4. Like I like that movie.
Ugh.
It's an okay action movie, but it's not funny.
right.
Holy Man is better, and Holy Man's also not funny.
Holy Man doesn't give the credit it deserves.
I do like Holy Man. Holy
The
Man
world,
is a,
the world
Holy
has
Man's
forgotten
good.
Holy Man.
Fucking planet am I on?
Holy Man is
Jesus Christ.
good. Holy Man. I mean, like, what's bad about Holy Man?
It makes you
Oh,
laugh.
God.
It's-
Well, you're
it's
sitting there
entertaining.
There's nothing. There's like nothing memorable about
You're
that
laughing
movie.
at it, Chris. Don't lie. Like
But it's so good. It's so fun. It's funny. It's like it's literally like just like it's not great, but at the same token, it's like it's Eddie Murphy and he's
Put you this
funny.
way,
in it.
I'll take Stop My Mom Will Shoot over Holy Man any day of the week.
Oh.
And here's the
Oh.
interesting thing about it. What I was going to say before is
Oh.
that Stallone by nature is actually a funny guy. If you look at him in interviews or any behind the scenes footage,
funny.
like he's hilarious. Like he is a really funny person to be around. He's got great timing. He's a writer. You know what I mean? Like
he's good. Yeah. I mean, like
he's very
like
good. So it's a shame that they never did a great comedy with Stallone. I will say that. But
I think this is what took him out of it. This is the end of that for him.
Yeah.
This is
well,
much.
because Hollywood
again,
made
I don't think he wants to
Stop or
take
My
that
Mom Will
chance
Shoot
anymore.
a joke. Like they first off, the title. It's one of those things where is the title genius or was it stupid to market?
Sometimes I remember
50,
this.
50.
Sometimes I remember this cover, and I think it just reminds me of Turner and Hooch. Like
it's a buddy cop movie with
like the cover, the
your
cover of the
grandmother.
yeah.
So like this falls into the realm of those like 90s, late 80s like buddy cop movies where it's like, but they ran out of like actual buddies and it started being a dog or a robot or a dinosaur or
a little kid.
Now a little kid.
Not Whoopi Goldberg, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Or Theodore Rex.
How this movie's problematic right from the beginning of it, and I just mean that as that it's not great, is that it also falls into that realm of movies where like they would start with a great animated opening, title sequence, and like Christmas Vacation or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This one starts with half a second.
One Crazy Summer.
Title sequence. Yeah, One Crazy Summer. Perfect. Mannequin. This one starts with half a second of that title sequence and then drops it completely. Oh. And then the rest of the entire opening scroll is just going across a dark cityscape. It is the most boring opening to any movie
awesome
ever.
Would it have been if they had cartoon Stallone?
Right. Like, that's what I mean. Cartoon Stallone and his mom just, like constantly
Rambo's awesome. That would have been awesome.
And they'd missed that opportunity. They had the idea and didn't follow through with it. And then scrolled through this boring, dark city, obscure city landscape. The rest of the title is the most boring, awful thing over the score. That's
now that you say that, all I can think of is the great opening to City Slickers. That's like
that's one too.
animated
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, those are so good.
Sans the Pink Panther.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now I want a recut of this movie done by Stallone with the cartoon opening.
The full animated opening would have really put you in a better spot to start this movie out.
My
Stallone,
God.
I mean, I will say this:
cartoon is
Stallone, if you're gonna fuck with your perfection movies like Rocky 4, you should go back and fix all the Rocky 5s, Stop My Mom Will Shoots, and Oscars, and try and make them all better movies. Because I know you can do it now.
I want to cut. I want to cut
people and your Rocky 4 crap.
I want to cut
5. He's actually Rocky.
Listen,
hey, I love Rocky 5. Don't get me wrong; it's one of the best bad movies ever made.
Mickey wants a cut. Hold on.
I want to cut of this movie where the end half, when he's in the truck, all of a sudden over the top kicks in. Like it just
that looks like
turns into over the top.
You want pump the brakes or my mom will shoot? Like that's what you want.
I want Lincoln Hawk to be driving the truck. The dumb kid is in the passenger seat, and then like,
you know what I want to do? I want to pretend like this wasn't the only giant Hollywood action star that Arnold pulled this shit with. And I just want to imagine him going to different people besides Sylvester Stallone and
like
talking
them into a comedy.
Oh, like calling up, like Bruce Willis and being like, "We have this movie, Hudson Hawk. I want to be in it, but the timing doesn't work."
Oh God, I would love to do a Hudson Hawk VCR.
Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
What?
I will watch this movie 10 times in a row.
That's blasphemy right there. Hudson Hawk is the fucking birthplace of cool. I don't care what anyone says.
I like that movie too.
That movie is perfection, and it's got the real Stallone. It's got Frank Stallone.
That movie is awful.
The real Stallone.
The real Stallone. Talking Frank.
Bold statement.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking, we all know who made the Rocky movies.
Frank
Stallone singing into the fire can.
Frank Stallone doesn't get the respect that man deserves.
I feel like that would have been a good buddy cop if he would have done like this with his brother.
Stallone and Frank Stallone.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop, or my brother will shoot.
Yeah, like that's a sequel. The sequel.
Oh, we're not there yet.
It's the Bowfinger kind of movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get into how I discovered this true gem of a film in a sec. I do want to say hi to everyone in the live chat there. I see Monica Thyman, Miyagi-Do Forever, Sylvia Wayman, Alex Bonafonte, and Xandra Mars on the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Alex Bonafonte says, I've never actually watched this turd burger. Well, sir, thank you so much for tuning in despite that. He does have a pitch as well. He says he'll add a personal twist to it.
Please make that a shirt and send it to us. Turd burger. This film.
Sylvia Wayman says pitch Sleepaway Camp 6. I would love to do a whole camp series before summer's over. Do Sleepaway Camp, Heavyweights, Camp Nowhere. We already did Meatballs. So if you guys would be into that, let me know in the live chat. Monica Thyman says, love this movie, saw it on TV for the first time. Miyagi-Do Forever, rented from Alpine Videos. This is warming my heart just thinking about this. Gold's Code says this movie only exists because Stallone stole it from Arnold, just like Ian only exists because he thinks film knowledge matters on this show. Xander Mars says your opinion on pizza is invalid because you're from Chicago, Chris. Well, I gotta give you that one.
Wow.
Oh, fuck you, Chris.
Shots
Gold's Code says nobody likes this movie. Give us Iron Eagle already. Judge Dredd was a great Stallone comedy. Theodore Rex.
You need to do Ace's Iron Eagle 3 is one of the great action movies that has been forgotten. We should do Iron Eagle here soon.
I'm down for Iron Eagle any day of the week.
Yes.
Also in the chat, Xandra says cartoon Stallone equals nightmare fuel, which I can't say I disagree.
I mean, we got Rambo on the cartoon.
Oh, Force of Freedom. Those were just the best. That was a great time to be alive.
Did that cartoon look like Stallone though?
Not at all.
No, not right.
It did.
Did it? Could you tell
by
that it
80s
was
standards?
Yeah.
Okay.
By 80s standards. Considering that, like, we played a video game where
as
Jason wore purple
as much as Dolph
overalls and had
Lundgren looked like
mask.
He-Man. Yes, I mean it kind of.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I think the animation was better than the Chuck Norris
like
cartoon.
Charlie Sheen and freaking Hot
Shots too.
That's
Shout out to Charlie Sheen. Shout out to Sheen for getting ripped for Hot Shots 2. It's one of like my favorite things in any comedy movie
Yeah,
ever.
he
Like
didn't
he
have
got
to do that,
swole.
and that's
He
amazing.
did not have to do that, but it made it so much funnier. Like
Yeah.
it was great. Any rate, so I'm embarrassed to say this, but the way this movie came into my life is that it was actually the first Stallone film I ever saw on the big screen. Pretty much just by age. I grew up watching all the Rockies on VHS, 2, 3, 4 specifically, just on repeat, and Rambo 3. Those were like, that's who Stallone is to me forever. It's Rambo 3 and Rocky
3.
2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
So I remember even having, as a 8-year-old, whatever I was, even having kind of low expectations coming into this, thinking like, well, I don't know, Stop My Mom Will Shoot. It certainly doesn't seem like it's going to be really like a badass movie or anything. But then once I settled into it, like it was enough for 8-year-old me to be like, oh, this is pretty good. I like this. It's pretty funny. Like he got his pee-pee caught in his zipper. That's a funny thing. That's comedy. Now I watch it and
Hey,
I
that's
don't laugh.
comedy gold. Look
Yeah.
at it.
Listen, if you enjoy movies where Estelle Getty goes around essentially showing everyone she meets child pornography, you're gonna love.
In a world.
Did you know? Were you like a Golden Girls fan, like a young age? Did you know who she was?
I don't think I even knew what the Golden Girls were at that point. I think maybe I had a vague
Yeah.
sense of like that. Oh, that's that show with the old ladies. Like that's maybe
I
if
was,
I knew
I was
anything, that's all I
watching
knew.
that.
I
I was
knew her
watching
I
that
knew her
all
as
the time.
Mannequin.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mannequin,
right.
yeah.
That's
I'll
why.
tell
you-
Whenever I saw Golden Girls, I'm like, oh, that's a lady from Mannequin.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, I saw
can see
the
that.
Golden Girls on the first runs of Golden Girls, and then I also saw the spin-off show, whatever like that, and everything like that. But
I didn't
like,
become
so that
a
was
fan.
like, I'm older,
be-
so that's how I knew Estelle Getty. I was like, oh, it's Golden Girls.
The
I became a
youngest
Golden
one
Girls.
of all of them.
What's that?
I
Wasn't
became a
Estelle
Golden Girls.
Getty like the youngest one out of all the Golden Girls?
Yeah,
Yes.
she played the oldest.
Played
yeah,
the oldest
yeah.
one.
Mhm.
I don't know if she was the youngest. I think
Yeah, I think she was the youngest.
Betty White was only
Betty-
like 50 or something when they made the show. She was pretty young.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I was gonna say I
sure.
became a Golden Girls fan later in life when I realized, shout out to Betty White, because I realized that I was Rose Nyland. And like the Ninja Turtles, everyone has a Golden Girl that they relate to a little bit more than the others. Like Steve is totally a Blanche. I've known him since I was like 11 years old, and he's as much of a Blanche as it gets.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ian is kind of the Sophia of this show, I guess.
Yeah.
He's sort of the crabby one, if you will. He's the one who's the most irritated and maybe the sharpest.
I've never been accused of being B. Arthur before, but like
No, that's not.
That's
that's Estelle
not-
Getty.
Estelle Getty. Oh my God,
Yeah, B. Arthur's Dorothy.
Dorothy.
yeah,
which
no,
I guess I
Dorothy
don't
was
know.
angry. Dorothy was always pissed off.
Yeah, Dorothy is kind of the more angry one, and then B. Arthur or Estelle Getty was kind of more the sarcastic comedic one.
Okay, well then I don't know. Maybe Ian is the Dorothy. Maybe Ian is
Yeah,
the
I'm
B.
gonna be
Arthur of
B.
this
Arthur.
show.
Doggone it! Like,
And just by my age alone, I would be the Estelle Getty.
Yes, right. Mickey's
the
oldest.
oldest.
I'd be Sophia. And more. And
Well-
I think I can be a little bit more sarcastic.
does that mean Chris is the hoe?
No,
No, I'm
Blanche.
Rose.
That means Chris is
That's
Betty White.
Steve.
Yeah, Betty
Oh,
White.
that's Steve,
Chris-
Steve is okay.
Steve's the
fine.
hoe. Although it's not
Oh,
1998, so I don't know why we're
show.
calling him a hoe. Like he's a hoe bag.
Oh
She's
my
a hoe,
God.
Jared. She's a hoe.
So-
But so
this
this
is
movie,
like the first movie that I remember seeing it. Well, no, I mean Mannequin. Yeah, Mannequin came first.
so
I remember seeing Estelle Getty was Mannequin, but I remember watching this, going like, "Oh, okay, she's in it. Okay, yeah, you know." Wasn't the
She's-
years?
I mean,
I saw Golden Girls, but
part of what ruined this movie was that Estelle Getty is just so likable, and the mom was supposed to be kind of like a monster, and they're like, oh, we don't want to have people hating Estelle Getty, so let's just make her nice and sweet, and it sort of like neutered the movie. Also, there's just nothing memorable that happens in this movie. Not to like, and I still like it. I still like really do like and like kind of even love this movie just because I love Stallone, Estelle Getty, Joe Beth Williams. Like, there's so many of the actors in this that are even the background guys. That I love.
The plot is so
There's nothing
vague.
there.
It's so vague and just it's nothing. Yeah, like you said, it's just nothing there.
I don't know.
The-
It's pretty
the set
memorable
pi-
when she's driving. When she's driving
Yeah.
the chase.
There were some set pieces that were okay. When he picked her up and started throwing himself through walls, that was pretty fantastic. But
Yeah.
To me, like where the issue goes wrong with the movie, it's not in the concept, because the concept I think actually is kind of unique, but you know, it's kind of like a comedy horror film, right? You know, you get the mixed reactions. Is this too funny to be, you know, horrific? Is this too horrific to be funny? It's like in an action movie with comedy, is this too funny to be too much? You know, like there's somewhere in the middle where there was a Lethal Weapon, where this could have been funny with a mom and a son, and it's like Lethal Weapon.
There's a balance. There's a balance, you know.
Yeah, if Richard Donner directed this, it could have been incredible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Roger Spottiswoode, I mean, he's a great director. He went on to do Tomorrow Never Dies, and
I mean, it would need a rewrite too. So
I think a good way to fix this movie would have been to take the plot line or whatever, and just in the beginning of it, just take out all the nonsense. Just have Estelle Getty witness something fucking atrocious happen with like a mob boss, whatever, and then for the rest of the movie, they're trying to hunt her down. The police department's involved, or if they're crooked or they're whatever, they don't want to mess with them. And essentially, Sylvester Stallone has to spend the entire movie defending his mother, who witnessed something they're trying to get her for, and comedy ensues. Instead, they have this whole weird thing where she sees a guy kind of shot from a van. Then it's the biggest deal in the world in LA in like the early 90s that there was a drive-by shooting, and like nobody really cares in the police station, and she's saving all the juicy evidence details for her son. So she's just obstructing justice through this whole fucking movie. She's buying the illegal guns. Like she's a fucking criminal. There's no way she's this stupid, is what I'm saying. It's like, but she's so dumb in this movie.
I would have loved it. Like I love that. I love that movie. That movie's better to me. But I would love the fact that if every like 10 minutes or so, like Stallone, there would be a scene where Estelle Getty's got a gun and she's chasing somebody and Stallone's there with her and he goes, "Stop or my mom will shoot." I just want every 10 minutes, I just want to chase.
He just keeps saying it.
He said the title.
He said it. That's the name of the movie.
Why did I have to wait to the end of the movie to get that joke? I wanted that joke like 20 times in the fucking movie. I wanted stop or my mom will shoot. Stop or my mom will shoot. Stop or my mom will shoot.
The whole idea of
I think this would have been a great film for Jim Belushi.
Okay.
Like instead of Stallone, Jim Belushi. There's the movie that I want. You know.
I like Jim Belushi, but I don't
buy him as like
the problem. Stallone's not the problem. Estelle Getty's not the problem. The problem is that there's nothing memorable that happens in the movie. You always say it. You know, movie is a series of scenes, and if you remember like a few of them, you got a pretty good movie. You remember like 6 or 7 of them, you got probably a great movie. There's just nothing. There's almost nothing memorable about this movie. I remember her cleaning his guns from when I was a little kid. But the rest of it, I kind of forget.
That's the most memorable joke in the movie. Is her cleaning.
And it's not even really executed that great. It's just like the concept. And again, the concept of the movie, I really like. I think the idea of like, lampooning, this like kind of cop genre, not so much as a buddy cop thing per se, but even lampooning that a little bit because it was so prevalent at the time.
But that's what it is. It's a buddy cop movie with him and his mother.
Yeah, but it's not done well as a buddy cop movie. See, you got to compare it to Kindergarten Cop, because Kindergarten Cop to me is the gold standard of Arnold doing both things. It's got enough action for the Arnold action fans, and
he's a
innocent
cop
and sweet enough for the family, and everything like that.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's a Reese's Pieces thing. I mean, you got the peanut butter in my.
This movie's
not funny enough memorable.
For the kids.
What's the balance?
There's no
movie's not funny enough for the kids,
movie.
and doesn't have enough action for the adults.
Yeah,
Mickey, he literally says, "Stop or my mom will shoot."
Later, yeah, but the Kindergarten Cop has the like.
No, I know. There's a lot.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Like
that's the thing.
This movie just needed to be better written and better executed. It's it's directed kind of like shit, and it's written terribly, and there's just too many weird. There's too many weird lines. Like it's got this weird kind of incestual vibe going on too, with the way his mom talks about it. And like, it's just very odd.
You can tell he's gonna have very nice equipment.
Yeah. And she's just constantly like walking in him in the shower and talking about his penis and none of that was necessary. They could have filled all that with jokes and it would have been funnier.
Well, that to them was the
joke. That goes back.
Those jokes would go over a lot better these days.
That goes back to what you were saying, though, of the whole like it. Again, I is it the script? Is it just how the director did this? Is it the fact that it is Stallone? I will say I think Estelle Getty is perfect. Like
she's great.
Estelle Getty works.
I think she's Sophia in this movie. Like she's very much like Sophia.
Yeah, also, she's a little less like savvy, and they play her up like as a dumb, like naive, older lady.
The other thing too is that like, these things like another thing that works about Kindergarten Cop and like Twins is this concept that like Arnold's in like a fish out of water kind of mode, right? And we don't really have Stallone that much in a fish out of water mode. It's more like there's something that dropped in his tank, and if he, for whatever reason, maybe he had to go stay at his mom's house or something, so he's really stuck in this other world where he doesn't want to be, and that's like making there's a lot of little ways that this movie could have been pushed to like areas where there's a lot more like comedy potential.
I feel like Stallone's comedy is best in action movies, kind of like a Demolition Man when he's doing the 3 shell thing and everything else like that, or like
he's good in that. I will say.
But that's a good example. That Demolition Man is a great example of there's enough peanut butter in that chocolate to make that funny, but it's still an action movie with just a little bit of the humor.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
I think
also finally figured it out. Yeah, exactly.
This movie doesn't feel like it has any stakes. Like we all just rewatched it, and how many of you could tell me what the bad guys' plans were?
You rewatched
it? Yeah, we rewatched it. Yeah.
I rewatched it. Because again,
yes, Ian.
Like Chris said, I mean, this movie is not memorable. So I watched it twice.
Like
time
Stallone,
and just rewatch.
Stallone should have been up against a whole mob of people, like of bad guys. And instead, there's like 3 of them, and 2 of them are just doofy, whatever dudes who he catches no problem. The other guy is barely a threat as well.
I also would say it's a one joke thing. What makes everybody laugh is the title.
Sure.
Like that, and it's like, okay. Was that enough for?
I feel like also someone whoever decided on this title was like, look at that movie, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. That was a big hit. This is a title that sounds like that, like the Stallone version. Stopping My Mom Will Shoot. Like it's kind of jokingly too long,
It is very much like that. I didn't think about that.
Which look, there are movies like that. I mean, the greatest example, Snakes on a Plane. But that works.
Yeah, but that's great though. That's great. That's like. That's another thing. Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson was, really the action guy, or like, or the more drama, whatever like that. And
well, I think if you're gonna go for it's like Snakes on a Plane. If you're gonna go for that, you got to go 110% full throttle. You got to lean into that title. This movie is safe as fuck. It's just every aspect of it is safe. Like nothing's too over the top. Nothing.
And this might be more pitching of what we're doing, but what if Steve, what if it was straight action movie? Like what if it was like a Lethal Weapon 4 kind of action movie?
Sure. Would that be better? Yes. That would be better with like comedic elements thrown in like a Lethal Weapon movie. If this followed that premise, if there was actual stakes and bad guys and a setup and a storyline and memorable characters and a actually memorable bad guy who made an impression, that there were real stakes, and you know what I mean, and they had some great set pieces and some great action scenes. Yeah, of course, this would be that'd be a much better movie.
Tony Scott had done this.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have been a little bit more.
I mean, a rewrite.
Glossy.
Everything just needs to be rewritten.
Well, it would have been rewritten.
Tony Scott, but if Shane Black wrote it as well.
I was about to say Shane Black. Yeah, I think Shane Black would have been perfect for something like this. Yeah. Or it would have been a better movie.
Incredible.
Ian
froze. But it is pitch time anyway, so that does again go for everyone in the live chat. What are the sequels you do or don't want to see for Stop My Mom Will Shoot? You know, there's a lot of things lately we've been realizing that you can plug Nick Cage into every movie. So like the sequels that we didn't get, like I think it's you know, maybe we're glad or maybe not glad that we didn't get the 90s version with Nick Cage and his mom, or Joe Pesci and his mom.
I want Stallone to get another crack at it. I want Stallone to get another crack at it, and I want like Stop or My Grandma shoot.
Yeah.
So you want Stallone?
He's a grandpa
to have
now.
A living grandma. Stallone's like almost 80 years old.
I mean, like, no, I mean, he could play. I mean, it could be a prequel, it could be the younger, or whatever, like that. But I'm just saying, like, it would be cool.
So you want Stallone to play younger than he was in 1992, 30 years ago?
Well,
I mean, let's be honest. It would be Stop.
I want Frank Stallone to play.
Yeah, it's time we went with Frank Stallone. And the real miss, you know.
We could get the Frank Stallone. Stop or My Brother shoot.
Stop or My Brother will shoot. I had a vague idea.
There was a whole franchise that's been missing. The family are all shoot.
That's what everyone wants to see. They want to see Frank Stallone come into the picture.
Stop or My Kid will shoot.
Stop or My Mailman will shoot.
Well, he has that reality show now. He can be like, Stop or My 4 attractive daughters will shoot, whatever that is.
And I want them to say the line every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes, yes. Yes.
I don't want to wait.
Second cousin might shoot.
No.
Mickey is the producer with the scars. Like, look, I don't care what you do. As long as every 10 minutes there's a gunshot, a pair of just bazongas, and a freaking say the line of the movie. You know?
Every good movie says the title of the movie multiple times through the movie.
Let's get
how about it? We're such ordinary
albums,
people.
The best albums are the title of the band's name. The best album is the title of the band's name.
Disagree. Hard.
No, I'm just saying. Like
Bad Company by Bad Company.
It was a good album.
Bad Company. It's terrible.
It was a good album.
No,
that's a great album.
Can you imagine though if that was a
that's Inception though. That's Inception, brother.
I know, right?
There's a movie. There's even a movie with that title, and that's also bad.
But how great would it be? Is every movie you like legally standard of Hollywood? You had to contractually say the name of the movie.
Like we're 10 minutes in, and no one said, "Don't tell mom the babysitter
is dead."
I haven't heard. If I don't hear it in the next 5.
I had the title line.
I can't believe it. The Empire struck back.
Oh my God!
I had the title line in Star Wars. You know, I was walking around and I said, "Man, I'm really sick of all these Star Wars."
I mean, like some movies would be a hell of a lot better.
He really is a demolition man.
What do they call you? The Demolition Man?
Oh my God, it's really him. Who's that? Passenger 57.
Who was that? That was Passenger 57. Yeah.
I mean, you almost got it all in Jerry Maguire. I mean, like, how many times do they say Jerry or Jerry Maguire in the movie?
That's the name of the guy, so they got that one passes. But they're like, that's a Rambo 2.
Look, okay, you know what? I'll give you an honest thing though. The thing about Stallone, and I actually believe this. I don't know if it's works for a pitch or not, but you all saw Copland, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Hear me out.
Oh, yeah, it's like it's probably his best work.
Yeah.
What if
he's better at drama than comedy?
But what if Copland was a comedy?
It would be
just
okay.
Shit on the fucking sacred text. Why don't you?
Well, I'm just saying, like it's like if you
I got an idea.
Character in Copland.
What if we make this a comedy?
What if Pulp Fiction was a podcast?
What if Amistad was an animated short?
Where did those people come from? Oh, they came from Amistad.
That's the name of the movie.
What if Saving Private Ryan was a cartoon flip book that you got as a toy in a box of cereal?
You know what? This mission is terrible. We have to save Private Ryan.
Should you choose to accept, why would I accept? This mission is impossible.
That would be great. I mean, like Tom Cruise saying that every 10 minutes, I'd be happy. I'd be like, I wouldn't sit there and question it. I wouldn't be sitting there like next to a buddy going like, why the fuck does he keep saying the name of the movie?
I can't
Like,
believe that you wouldn't think
goofy,
that.
Amber. You're just such meatballs.
John McClane, that guy really dies hard.
Dies hard.
All right. Enough of this.
It's almost like...
There is a pitch. There is a pitch.
Yeah, pitch something. Do it.
Yeah, thank you, people. Alex Bonafonte here to save the day again. Sly is an aging cop who's regularly shown up by his well-educated, attractive, tech-savvy, and highly effective detective daughters. While struggling with his desk computer, Sly is helping them take down an illegal puppy mill and dogfighting ring in Stop or My Annoying Kids Will Shoot. Boom. Alex Bonafonte. I love it. Fantastic work. I would go see that, and as much like Mickey suggested, and if you're gonna keep Sly, it pretty much has to be Stop or My Daughter Will Shoot at this point.
That'd be
Alex,
awesome.
I owe you an apology. I thought
you thought he was Sean Gold.
No, your pitch was actually good. I apologize.
Yes, that is good.
So there is another pitch in the chat, of course, by the great Sean Gold.
All right, I'm out.
He's leaving preemptively. He doesn't even know if it's a rollerblade pitch or not, but it might be. So Sean Gold's pitch: nothing can stop the rematch between Mitchell and the Preps except Wally's mom, who wants to participate with cream corn. It's Stop or My Mom with Bladeborn. Oh, Stop or My Mom Will Bladeborn. Wow, that's just fantastic.
Oh, and then
We're
you can get
such cool.
Oh my God!
You know what?
Then you can get the Bourne Legacy
Airborne.
again.
Although I will say, if you did this movie just later enough, Edie McClurg would be my choice to take over the role of the mom. Edie McClurg is fantastic.
Chris, I just thought of a great mashup.
Okay.
Airborne Legacy.
Legacy.
The Airborne Identity.
Yeah, Airborne
That's
Supremacy. One. Sean Gold, pitch those in the chat. I love it. Pretty soon it'll be Airborne the 4th of July. So
I mean,
I thought I had a decent idea today with this or whatever, where Stallone is getting remarried at like an older age or whatever, and then her mother is still alive and is even wackier than the Stell Getty. But I figured that would only work if
Stop or My Mother-in-Law shoot.
Yeah, if you had another Golden Girl, which I thought maybe one was still alive, and I gave that a Googs, and turns out that was no, they're all gone.
So Betty just passed.
Yeah, so that was the last one, huh? I thought maybe Blanche was still kicking around somewhere, but no.
You know what would have been a better mom is actually the mom from, or the older lady from Wedding Singer. You know, the one that
sure. She is.
Jane Seymour.
Is that? I don't know her name.
The Wedding Singer.
Jane Seymour.
Wedding Singer, not Crashers.
No, the one that paid him in meatballs.
I
thought it was
passed
Crashers
a few years ago, Ian.
I thought it was Crashers.
But yeah, she would have been great in the '90s version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, Edie McClurg would have also been great.
Jane Seymour, man. Again,
the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Doris Roberts.
Doris Roberts, yes, thank you.
He's fantastic.
But she passed away too, right?
But yes, years ago it would have been like these are I'm also thinking of the different action stars. Like imagine if this became like a franchise and every film they recast the lead. So it's like you got the Stallone one, you got the Van Damme one, the Seagal one. Who else?
Oh my God! Think if he did like an Expendables of Stop and My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah.
The Expendable Mamas. You know, it's the poster with all of them with their moms above them.
That's a fascinatingly terrible idea, and I really.
But like, imagine because in the '90s, eventually Jackie Chan took over, so you would have had one with Jackie Chan. That would have been incredible.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
I feel like Rush Hour was just like this, but like with another guy.
That's profound, Mickey. That's really.
Did you just compare?
Yes, Rush Hour was like this, but with a different.
Rush Hour is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, but just with a different guy. That's fucking brilliant. I love it.
The worst part about what he said is it's true. It's so true.
I know it is. It is kind of true. It's a buddy nonsense movie.
Look at the cover, even. Look at the cover that Ian's got in his background. That's Rush Hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm being told that in the chat that YouTube missed part of Alex Bonafonte's pitch, or maybe I glitched out. So I'll read it again for those that missed it. Alex's pitch is Sly is an aging cop who's regularly shown up by his well-educated, attractive, tech-savvy, and highly effective detective daughters. While struggling with his desk computer, Sly helping them take down a legal puppy mill and dogfighting ring in Stop or My Annoying Kids Will Shoot. Incredible. Wait a minute. Okay, no, I was being told not to read again in the chat. So a little bit of miscommunication. Sorry to pitch the same thing twice. But hey, Alex Bonafonte has been pitching gems on this show since the beginning since literally episode 1. So
yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's a worthy pitch. I really like that.
Okay, so the main question though is, should this be an action star or should it be a comedy star?
no, I think it's Stallone.
Well, I know, but if you're doing like, let's say we do a remake, all right?
Right.
A remake?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I know the world is clamoring for that one, along with Godfather Part 4. But like, would it be a comedy star or would it be an action sar? What would
I think it should fall into the vein of like similar, like you said earlier, Ian, of like a Lethal Weapon, or or like a Kindergarten Cop, like you said before. Like it should fall into that good mix of both, and it's not. Yeah. Obviously, it's a very possible thing to do. We've done it, Beverly Hills Cop. We've done a lot of these. We've done a lot of these. Well,
could you do
all
this
those
movie?
have some? Oh, sorry.
Could you do this movie, or would you find it funny if you put like somebody like Will Ferrell in it?
I kind of like.
Here's the other thing I thought is that like maybe it would be interesting if you are recasting or whatever. I just don't like the word reboot. But if you did it so that the main character is very timid, but the mom is like wild, like you have like Linda Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver, a badass mom, and their son is very timid, or their daughter is very timid, or whoever, you recast as the lead now.
Yeah, I mean, that's not like a total flip on its head, like, or what reverse, but that's not a bad idea.
What if it was his son? So it's like Stopper My Dad'll Shoot, and Stallone is the dad.
It's still that's not bad.
I was thinking that honestly, like it's Stopper My Granddad Will Shoot. I mean, like
the only issue with that is that like it's not all that weird and crazy for like Stallone, who was a police officer and still looks like he does today, to be doing action stuff.
But think about it. He was a police officer. He's going to be nagging his son. He's going to be like, "That's not the way you should do it. You should do it this way, whatever."
Yeah, I mean, if Stallone looked like an old man and not like a brick shithouse, that still, like I would think that would work. But he still looks like he would kick ass.
Robert De Niro's doing all these like really terrible comedies now just so he can get the money for it.
Yeah.
No, Stallone doesn't have to be weak.
Imagine that poster of Stopper My Dad Will Shoot, and it's Robert De Niro doing the comedy Robert De Niro, like like that.
Yes, yeah.
That could have worked. That could have worked for sure.
Unfortunately, they talk about his dad's death in the movie, or else. I mean, it's so unrealistic that Stallone would have a living father now at like 70, whatever he is.
Yeah.
But
I think the idea of Stop My Daughter Will Shoot actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because let's assume he got together with Gwen and they got married, and which they did. They set that up. They showed the ring. So they got married and they had a kid a couple years later. The kid's now almost 30 years old. Plenty old enough to have graduated from the police academy and be a cop with an itchy trigger finger. Or
it just doesn't have the ring to it though. Stopper My Daughter Will Shoot. It's the only problem. Stopper My Mom Will Shoot flows really well. Stopper My Dad Will Shoot works.
Well, maybe you have to hear it 10 times in the movie, and then
I think you should do a sequel.
Stopper My Oldest Daughter Shoots.
And the line every 10 minutes. Go make movie.
All right, and in the vein of Turner and Hooch and K911, he should do Stopper My Dog Will Shoot, and it should be Stallone and a dog.
My dog will shoot.
Steve, this is why I appreciate you. You didn't just say K9. You said the sequel K9
911. Right? Well, it's the better movie, really.
I also, and again, I was mentioning this to Steve the other day. I remember at one point when my mom came out to the East Coast to visit me, and we were living in this shithole house that was like New Jersey famous as being known as the creepy house. And like she saw, like, our just lifestyle was ridiculous. Like we literally had like a stripper pole and stage in like our living room and like a pool table, and it was just like parties and just drinking and debauchery everywhere. My mom like saw this stuff firsthand, and it just got me thinking, like, all right, if you took like an Edie McClurg type, who my mom very much always reminded me of, and you did like Stopper My Mom Goes Punk, it could actually be funny. It's not really a true sequel or a true follow-up, but I wouldn't mind watching Stopper My Mom Goes Punk.
Well, they did that in Freaky Friday.
Oh, that's they did.
The
They
Jamie
did too,
Curtis.
yeah.
I guess that's true. They beat me to it.
Chris,
God damn you, Jamie.
I really liked. Of course, it wouldn't work now because they're all too old. But like, I really like the idea you said before of following these up with different action stars from that era,
Yeah.
all different mothers. That
Yeah.
are older than that, and just keep doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot 2 with Dolph Lundgren and I don't know,
The Expendables.
yeah, just the whole
like
Expendables
who would have played mothers in this? Like, I feel like Diane Keaton would have played a mother in this eventually in this series. Jane Fonda would have played a mother in this series eventually.
Yeah, Jane Fonda could be like Dolph's mother.
Yeah,
I could see her being Dolph's mother for sure.
Yeah.
It's all the cast of the Expendables and all the cast of that 80 for Brady movie. And
Lily
Thomas. Let's do this.
Although, come on, Anne Ramsey would have been great in one of these from the Goonies. Oh,
sure.
God.
Yeah.
And we're doing Goonies next week. So
80 for Brady. That's right. You could do this.
And you know what? That is the movie that we don't have that we do need. Where it's like Fierce Creatures is like a follow-up or quasi sequel to like Fish Called Wanda. Like, there is a Stop or My Mom Will Shoot with Billy Crystal and Anne Ramsey.
Sure. Oh, right.
Billy Crystal.
Yeah. That is a movie we don't.
Throw Mama from the train.
Yeah, right.
How great would that poster be with Anne Ramsey and but like Anne Ramsey doing her just like, I got a gun.
I still maintain it would have been great to do Joe Pesci and Martin Scorsese's mom, who was in Goodfellas, the mom in Goodfellas, who plays Joe Pesci's mom in Goodfellas.
That would, with Robert De Niro and her though, that would have been funny.
Robert De Niro could have been the villain. That would have been fantastic. Stop or My Mom Goes Mob.
Oh.
Stop or My Mom Goes
Mob.
Mob. All right.
Mob Mama. That's there it is.
Thinking,
Mob Mama.
They could
stop or throw Mob Mama from the
Stop or I'll throw Mama from the train.
They could do different versions of this movie, kind of like like Halloween 3 tried to be different from like the original Halloween, so you could have
what would the season of the witch one be?
What?
I mean, that makes sense. This movie lit the world on fire, just like the original Halloween.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. There's no guns in the movie.
There's no moms or guns.
I don't know what mom shooting will imply in this version, but I don't want to find out.
There's no moms or guns in this whole movie. It's fucking weird.
They just got to say the line in the movie.
Dang it! That is like the
say the line in the movie. It's the jingle. It's the Silver Shamrock. It's like, don't stop or my mom will shoot. Mom will shoot. Mom will shoot. Don't stop or my mom will shoot. Don't you stop now.
I don't think we rented the right movie.
I'm telling you, I can see the Billy Crystal Anne Ramsey version of this on the VHS shelf. I can see it. I want to see that version of this.
I mean, you're seeing the cover of Throw Mama from the Train, but yeah.
I think the Jackie Chan version would have been the one maybe that I wanted to see the most of the different like action stars that we could have gotten. Although we've never seen Seagal do comedy intentionally, at least. I should say.
Yeah, I was like,
Seagal did an episode of Saturday Night Live, and it is renowned as the worst episode and the worst host that was ever. And that's what everyone who's ever been on that show talks about.
It's true.
And there's a reason why Seagal has never done comedy. He's incapable. He's absolutely incapable. I'd love to try.
Although I thought his reality show was kind of comedic.
Van Damme tried to do a comedy.
Who?
Van Damme try and do a comedy?
Did he try to do a comedy?
He tried to do
later.
That
he did Welcome to the Jungle. Way later.
Yeah, that dance
Desert
movie.
Heat. Have you guys ever seen Desert Heat? The Van Damme movie Desert Heat.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I checked out by that point.
That is a wild one because it is kind of a comedy, but it's one of those weird mixtures. Like the alchemy in that one just kind of blew up in a weird way, but it kind of like you like the colors of it when it blew up.
But that's also like him being comedic in an action movie or whatever it can be.
I don't have any.
Being in a comedy.
I don't think Van Damme. I think Van Damme could pull it off. I don't think he's incapable. Seagal couldn't do anything.
But to be fair, if it was a comedy star, like Ian says, there is one actor that I think you can plug into any movie and it's immediately a better movie anyways. But one actor I would truly accept as a comedy lead in a Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, and that's Sinbad. Sinbad would have been great.
It would be
Sinbad would have
awesome.
been great. Oh my
Sinbad
god.
in this. I want Sinbad and his in this movie.
So Sinbad,
you got a remake.
You could have put Sinbad in this movie with this script, and it would have been a hit because he would have found comedy throughout.
So here's my pitch: Sinbad in this movie with Martin Lawrence playing his mother.
It would have been a great movie. Like
Sinbad with Martin Lawrence playing his mom.
So Martin Lawrence in the makeup from Big Mama's House playing Sinbad's mother.
You know what?
That's
if
pretty
we're putting
good,
makeup,
actually.
if we're doing makeup, then we're going with America's Mom. I'm going Felicia Rashad in old age because she's not that much older than Sinbad to be his mom. But you age her up with the wig, and boom, Felicia Rashad is Sinbad's mom, and she's not taking shit from anybody.
Stop the presses.
What's up?
Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry.
No.
Yes!
Get out of here.
Stop or Medea will shoot.
Yes!
Get out of here.
You've cracked it, Ian.
Opening
Get
night.
out of here.
I knew you were going to do that. Nikki quit. Oh my God. We finally got
I
him
am
back.
their opening night of that one, folks.
No way.
I know. You're
Stop
a
or
Medea
Medea
fanboy.
will shoot.
You would watch a Medea version of Made in Manhattan.
Well,
So that's
I'll watch Medea in the remake of Grapes of Wrath. Like, I don't give a crap what Medea is in. Like, come on.
Medea's Grapes of Wrath.
Would you watch Medea in The English Patient?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Her sitting there with the love affair and then the plane being like, get this plane down.
Or what if, okay, now here's a different thing, because I see something in the chat. Alex Bonafonte says, screw it, Stop or Dan Marino will shoot. So what if they did one?
Would you
Not
pay?
to get too political, but what if they did like a Dick Cheney type of situation where my dad's just like out of his mind and he's got a bunch of guns, like
he accidentally shoots his
senile,
friend
like
in the
my
face.
senile old dad might shoot you.
Oh, that's just a sad. That's
like
sad.
George C. Scott out of his fucking mind, shooting into the woods. Like
that's
George
a totally
C. Scott
different
shooting
movie.
in the
That's not
trees.
action
I'd watch
or
that.
comedy.
Do you remember Jim Carrey on In Living Color used to do that, like Frank and Beans guy?
Yeah,
You know,
Frank
yeah,
and Beans.
that old man.
Yeah.
Pork and beans.
Or like Burgess Meredith from Grumpy Old Men, just like blindly shooting like into the fucking lake and shit. Oh God, it would be so good. It would be fantastic.
That's fucking
Or like SLC Punk, like
that
SLC Punk, they go to visit his dad. Goddamn CIA.
Think about if you had gotten Sylvester Stallone and Burgess Meredith. So Stop or My Dad Will Shoot.
That would have been
the Rocky guys.
Reunion. The Rocky reunion.
Yeah.
That would have been
that would have been a hit. People
if
would
they
have
didn't talk about his dad's death through this whole movie, that would have been the sequel to pitch. I mean, not that they were going to do a sequel to this fucking movie anyway. Ever.
No, this sadly is a sequel that will.
And
only
then it could be like Meet the
hearts.
Parents. It could be the third one. Could be like Meet the Parents. It's like Stop or My Parents Will Shoot because they're like together.
My parents will shoot.
So you got Mom is first, Dad is second, and like Stop or My Parents Will Shoot. The trilogy continues.
Oh my God! Stop or My Coworker will shoot. It's just so far removed. Stop or My Mechanical will shoot.
That'd be so awesome. I think that would work.
Well, I think we have pitched this one up, down, left, and right.
We're done.
Every which way.
We're done. All four of us with this.
I don't know if we reeled one in. I don't know if we really landed one.
Yeah,
or we
Medea.
didn't, but... Oh God, you and your Medea. I don't know. I think
Medea's...
Sinbad might be the way to go. That or Joe Pesci. But before we wrap it up, is there anything you guys have got coming up you want to let the people at home know about, music wise, recording wise, article wise?
Yeah, the EP's out finally. So
All right.
go stream it. Rick Barth in the Line. You'll find it. Incidents and Accidents. That's the name.
Right.
You send me a link, Mick?
Yes, I will do it.
No,
I will do that.
Awesome.
Rick Barth and the Line will have you doing lines all night like it's 1986.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to Forrest Gump that.
Big lights, Rick Barth.
Just say it
All right.
say it 10 minutes every 10 minutes in the movie.
Every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes.
Hey, is that Rick Barth and the line?
Hey, Rick. Well, that's like Snake Play or what was that? Under Siege 2.
Yes.
You know, it's like, oh, we can't stop this train. Nothing will stop this train. Hey, Casey Ryback's on this train. Casey Ryback's on that train? Well, we're safe now. Just say Rick Barth every 5 minutes.
I think we're under siege too.
You streamed that new Incidents
We're
and
totally
Accidents?
under siege
Siege.
again too. What a dark
McClane.
territory.
Oh
That
my
guy
God.
dies hard with a vengeance. All right. So you Fandom fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when it's our time down here for our Goonies 2 episode. As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom Spotlight, the How On I Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.